And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Pre-recording these Thursday into Friday, and I'm also going to pre-record What If for Saturday later. But from Sages_24, the White Lanterns versus the Phoenix Force, or maybe not the White Lantern, there's only one, but a White Lantern ring versus the Phoenix Force, the embodiment of life versus the embodiment of psionic energy, the nexus being of psionic energy in the Marvel Universe, who is basically the embodiment of destruction and the configuration all at once. And this comes up again after Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan was a really interesting opponent for the Phoenix, but I did give it to the Phoenix. But here's the problem here in this fight. The win con that the Phoenix had, the ability to basically exist between past, present, and future simultaneously, and therefore kind of negate Dr. Manhattan's existence if it really wanted to, it doesn't have that immediate advantage here because the White Lantern ring has all the abilities of a Green Lantern, all the other rings, and then some. It literally can manipulate life force. It can bring back the dead. It can travel through time. Green Lanterns can do that. So the ability that, if for example, Hal Jordan is feeling it, and it can just survive the collapses of universes on top of itself, higher dimensional levels of existence. So it's one of those fights where the win con in one fight that would also work in most fights doesn't effectively work against an opponent who can also travel back in time. The question would just become, how far back does the Phoenix Force exist? By all accounts, it exists from the beginning of existence, more or less. That's how old the Phoenix Force is. So could Hal, or Kyle, I should say, Kyle's the main one, could Kyle say, go back in time to the beginning of existence? I don't think even a White Lantern ring has quite that level of power, but the White Lantern ring can and does exist on a power scaling of multiple dimensions higher than just your base universal threat. And it's tough to say whether or not it can combat the Phoenix Force effectively. I'll say this: in a straight out fight, these two are kind of canceling each other out. A lot of what the White Lantern rings can do is something that the Phoenix Force can do, be it energy constructs, life manipulation, if it has to destroy things. But conversely, because it has a connection to the life equation from DC, the Phoenix Force, frankly, also is a little out of its depth against the White Lantern ring. Not completely out of its depth. Like that, it has no idea how I'm going to do this. It's not that bad. But it is a level of abilities that aren't quite... what's the best way? Aren't quite the best matchup for someone like the Phoenix. Because he is the embodiment of life, and it's a combination of will, and it can utilize all the other abilities of all the Lantern rings. So it can utilize the greedy energy and attack-taking abilities of the Orange Lanterns, the abilities to influence things with hope, the ability to figure out fear. For example, using a Yellow Lantern ability, he could figure out what the Phoenix Force's true fear is, and then exploit that against it, in theory. The napalm effects of the Rage Lanterns, the compassion abilities of the Indigo Tribe. Although, frankly, the White Lantern just does what they do far better. So, But here's another issue, and someone said that's not what happened. It is very much. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna find something here. So I once said, and I actually did post the video on it to that person, because I'm like, wow, you were sounding. First off, I get that people don't agree all the time, and maybe some people are that, but don't try to argue from a place of I'm right and sound like an ass when you do it. Go on. Dr. Manhattan destroys. One second. The White Lanterns. The White Lantern ring. Okay. So you can go to Comics Explained for this video. It is a video of now. It's never been, I don't think it's been 100% confirmed that this is what happened. But in, what was it, Doomsday? The Doomsday Clock, that was I think it's Doomsday Clock. That was the storyline. In Doomsday Clock, Kyle Rayner as the White Lantern. Basically, the White Lantern ring was destroyed and separated into the core fundamental colors of that spectrum. It is implied, and you can look, again, Comics Explained, look at the video. It isn't very much implied that was Dr. Manhattan who did that. And so, Dr. Manhattan kind of supersedes the White Lanterns? So, in theory, by all accounts, the Phoenix Force should beat the White Lanterns because I think the Phoenix Force beats Dr. Manhattan. It is, but again, because of what the White Lanterns are, embodiment of life, it is difficult to say if that should be the case. If, rock, paper, this guy beats this guy, therefore he beats this guy. I don't know if it's the same thing because of the roster of abilities we have compared to the Phoenix Force and what those abilities represent. But because he can't go back to the existence and stop the dawn of existence and stop the Phoenix Force, because the Phoenix Force could just exist perpetually within all the time streams and in the multiverse itself. I mean, the Phoenix Force can only see his opponent, realize they're actually really strong, and then go back and destroy the creation of that opponent if they so choose. So, I would still probably go on the side of the Phoenix Force in this. I don't think it's... the Phoenix Force is just one of those fundamental forces that is exceptionally overpowered. Exceptionally overpowered. So, yeah, I'd go to Phoenix Force still. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Put in the comments below. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.